Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on BrainFLoTv. If you a YNW Melly fan to the fullest and you screaming free Melly, then I guess you're going to be riding with him all the way to the end, and I understand that. If you are a person who is just looking for justice to be served, and you saying Sack and Juvie's family deserves justice and those young men deserve justice, then I guess you're going to just be watching and listening and hoping that the truth be told. Rapper YNW Melly's lyrics is the latest update to his case as we move into the new year. Today is the 21st. I'm doing this video. I don't know when you're going to see it, but it's the 21st of December. We only got a few more days left of Christmas and then a few more days left to a whole new year. February of 2024 is when the truth shall be revealed, and whatever happens in that courtroom is what we're going to have to live with, be it guilty or innocent. But for right now, they're still working on putting this case together, and his lyrics are coming into play. Rapper YNW Melly's lyrics. Kind of something like what's happening in the Young Thug case down south in Georgia, where they're using lyrics from his songs. I think other rappers might want to pay attention to this. See, there's this saying going on out there that a lot of them have been doing the crime and then rapping about the crime in songs, sometimes in coded ways that lets other gangs or the ops who they're into it with know that we did that. We killed your man. We spun the block. We shot up your mama house, kind of thing. So if they can find where the crime matches the lyrics, your ass going to prison. Jamel Demons, known to millions of his fans as YNW Melly, he will go on trial next year, 2024 February, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for the double murder that he allegedly committed 5 years ago, taking the life of two of his very good childhood friends, become business partners, Sack and Juvie. But after a mistrial on the same charges in July of 2023, Florida prosecutors are now controversially planning to introduce his lyrics into evidence in a case that could carry the death penalty if he is convicted. There's a lot of people that are saying this is bullshit. This man's lyrics should have nothing to do with it. Everybody knows that these rappers tell lies, but everybody also knows that these rappers do get into it and do put real life stuff in their lyrics. In other words, hip-hop or rap has become this. Back in the day when it was like Slick Rick, the storyteller, Cool Ruler, and all these things, they used to rap about stuff they saw around them. Nas, all of them. They used to rap about stuff they saw around them, not necessarily stuff they did. In today's rap world, it's like you have no street credibility to drive the sales of your music and your image if you not in it in the streets. So your lifestyle has to match your lyrics, which is also the most destructive thing ever, because you can't be an artist and also be a gangster slinging guns, shooting people. There's no such thing as going on the block, shooting up your ops, and then going to the recording studio, recording it, and then releasing it, selling millions of copies, and then going on tour and coming back. You're not factoring in the law enforcement part and the prison part. Back to this. Demons is now 24 years old. His name, ironically, is spelled Demons, but people get offended. His fans, anyways, get offended when you say demons, even though that is what it is. But his attorneys have been very careful to not have anybody call him demon in court, as you could see how it could relate. Anyhow, he's 24 years old at the moment, and he's accused of killing Christopher Juvie Thomas and Anthony Sack Chaser Williams, who were shot inside of a Jeep by friend while Cortland Henry, another YNW another YNW group affiliate, was driving the vehicle. In court, the charges that Cortland and Melly conspired to wipe the other two off the face of the earth for whatever the reasons were. The murders of Thomas and Williams occurred after a long night session at the recording studio back in October of 2018 and came soon after Demons, allegedly a member of the G Shine Bloods, found commercial success with a double platinum trap rap hit called Murder on My Mind. Last week, the Broward County prosecutor Alexandra Bukalu said that she planned to introduce YNW Melly's Murder on My Mind song among 55 other songs that he did, 4 album covers and 18 audio files into evidence at his retrial, something the prosecutors at his first trial did not do because they did not want to do it. Let me say this again. Last week, the Broward County prosecutor Alexandra Bukalu, which is one of the 3 attorneys who have taken over the case, said that she plans to introduce Demon's Murder on My Mind, which is his double platinum selling breakout single, and 55 other songs, 4 album covers, and 18 audio files into evidence at his retrial in February of 2024, something that the other prosecutors before failed to do because they did not want to do it. I think that is not a wise idea, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. In that trial, prosecutor Christine Bradley, that his first trial, argued that the case against Demon was not just in lyrics. And she said that we're not going to get into that because that's artistic expression, and that's not why we're here today. See, that I thought was wise. Now, according to the Miami Herald, Melly defense attorney Raven Liberty, the only female attorney on his team, the same woman y'all see him sitting next to all the time. I think she be over there babysitting him sometimes because bro man look like he be losing it sometimes. But you know, he been locked up for a while and he's 24 now. He's been locked up since he was 19. So that kind of might play with his mental state along with other things that are going on behind the scenes. We don't know if he's on medication, whatnot. We've seen him do some pretty suspicious things in court. However, his attorney, Raven Liberty, has asked the Broward County Circuit Judge John Murphy, the judge who is seeing the case, to block prosecutors from introducing these songs, as well as music videos and lyrics, into Demon's retrial. They don't want it in there. I watched Murder on My Mind, and it looks like murder was on his mind for real. The blood splatter, the everything, you know, he looked like he relished in that type of stuff. This could become prejudicial to him. Like they could use this against him when, in fact, that's not what we should be looking at, right? Now, to receive something this late in the game, this is what his attorney said. His attorney said to receive something this late in the game is just part and parcel of what they've been doing the entire time. She said that the state attorney's office had given Melly defense team an assurance that lyrics would not be used against him 3 years ago. So they sit down, they talk it out. It is your constitutional right to know what is going to be used against you in a court so that you can properly mount a proper defense. So they already sat down and talked this out under Kristen Bradley, which is the former prosecutor who got put off the case by the judge using precautionary measures is what the judge said he did, right? So Kristen Bradley sat down with them, according to Melly's attorneys, 3 years ago and said, we're not going to get into the lyrics. She also came to court and said it in his first trial. She says, I'm not going to use any videos or lyrics from his songs because that's just artistic expression. And that's not what we're here to do today. Now, because Melly is facing a death penalty, if he is convicted, the prosecutor's burden is higher than the standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. I want you to understand that part. Because he is facing death penalty, the prosecutor's burden is higher than the standard of beyond a reasonable doubt, which means they must prove to a higher standard that he did do it. Florida law rising to the Florida legal standard known as proof evident, presumption great. That's the name of it. So they're going to have to prove beyond any doubt that he actually did it, which is going to be pretty challenging for them to do. But if his lyrics are admitted into evidence, it will probably escalate the legal and the cultural debate over their use in criminal settings. Rappers having their lyrics used against them. Last month, Free Speech Group and stars like Jay-Z and Coldplay and others, they objected when a judge in Atlanta ruled that lyrics could be introduced into the trial of Young Thug. They're saying that's bullshit. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, is standing trial right now, accused of racketeering and a bunch of other things. His whole RICO case, accused of running a criminal gang enterprise, YSL, Young Slime Life, or Young Stoner Life, and all that other stuff. So its members have been charged with murder, carjacking, along with other charges, and the lyrics from some of Thugger's songs are being used in court against him at this moment as we speak. Here's the reason why. This you should know first. In September of 2022, California outlawed the use of lyrics as evidence in any state trial. Harvey Mason Jr., chief executive of the Recording Academy, which runs the Grammy Awards, at that time he called that an important victory. Silencing any genre or form of artistic expression is a violation against all music people, is what he said. Now, that's California. As you know, the United States of America has 50 states, and each state kind of does its own thing. Sometimes there are rules, laws, and regulations that are left up to that particular state. That's the reason why you could have marijuana on your person and be good to go, smoking in public in front of the police in one state, and then you cross state lines and you looking at years in prison. The states do different things. Unfortunately for YNW Melly and unfortunately for Young Thug, they're not in California. In Georgia, where Thugger is, you can use it in court. In Florida, where Melly is, it can also be used in court as well against you if they can use it to prove a case. Now, here's the reason why I think it's a done deal why they should not be using his lyrics against them at court. Because it's going to make the case heavier. It's going to make the case longer. The biggest mistake that Kristen Bradley, the prosecutor from YNW Melly's first trial, her biggest mistake was not that she didn't prove her case, because she surely did, but she took so damn long. Y'all ever went to church and it's like around Christmas time or some kind of celebration, and pastor just decides that today he's gonna preach like a 2-hour ceremony, and you a little kid and you sitting there and you just can't take it anymore, and you start to nod off and fall asleep? That's how it was in Melly's first trial. In other words, cut it short. Too much friggin' information that had nothing to do with nothing. They're going to have to trim the fat off of this case, go straight for the jugular, and paint that picture as vivid, as raw, and as quickly as possible so the jury members gets it. Otherwise, the jury members are going to be lost. This could be days. If she is planning to use this many pieces of his songs, this is not a friggin' rap concert. It says she's planning to use Murder on My Mind, which is the song, and it has a video, 55 other songs, 4 album covers, 18 audio files. And while you're doing all this, you're going to be showing all the evidence that was shown in the first trial, like the video of the route that they drove when they left the recording studio and where they claimed that the shootout happened. That street was under video surveillance. No gunshots, no shooting, no nothing was found. But if you remember watching the first trial that ended in a mistrial, you remember that big ass part of the trial where we were all just sitting there just watching blank video screen with just like one car pass every 5 minutes, and it lasted forever. So all that is going to take up time, and then to add all this, I just think it's a wrong move. It's something they should not have done. But like I said before, the proper thing that they should have done, take the death penalty off the table, go for life in prison without the possibility of parole, try Melly alongside Cortland Henry or Bortland, YNW Bortland, try both of them together, and then send their asses up the river if they're found guilty, or free them if they're found not guilty. That's what I said should have been done. But okay, the state wants the death penalty, so they're going that route, which means they cannot try both of them together. So here we are now. And now they're adding way too much more stuff to this trial, which I don't like this, because I don't think that's what the outcome, I don't think the outcome is going to be good. Anyhow, that's where we sit with this. It's still a go for February for his trial to start, and they're still adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing and filing new motions and answering old motions filed. That's what's going on behind the scene, just to get everybody caught up. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me if you think it's a wise idea for the prosecution to go and add 55 of Melly's songs, 4 album covers, and 18 audio files to this case. That has to do with just his music. I'll see you in the comment section. It's BrainFLoTv. I'm out. Peace.